Now, Frank has given the FBI complete access to his files, his records, his notes, everything. We got 200% cooperation, but we have 0 answers so far, in our favor anyway. The agent just called to say that Frank's signature wasn't forged. It was the real thing.
Well, that could easily happen. Think of all the papers Frank signs every day. Someone slipped in an extra. So it's Frank's signature. It doesn't prove a thing.
Yeah, honey, what it means is we've got to have a full explanation very quickly.
Who is Raymond Leclerc?
Yeah, who's initialed these SAS?
Well, Leclerc was an executive with NLW Industries. Now he's a member of the Federal Electronics Commission. Now, he's not talking. See, all of a sudden, everybody at NFLW, they don't know Frank. The agency said they're going to have to issue subpoenas.
You see, it says there that I back Leclerc for the commission slot, but in fact, I'm on public record as being totally opposed to him. I never wrote that letter, and I never made any deals.
Now, the initials stand for Samuel Addison Snow. He was a lobbyist or a middleman. Unfortunately, he died a few months ago.
And it says there that I accepted Snow's payoff, when actually I sent him packing the first day he came around waving $1,000 bills. I didn't even let him hint at what he wanted from me, and neither one of us so much as whispered the words, Vice President.
Frank, you don't have to apologize for this filth. It goes without saying we believe you.
Also goes without saying, or it should, Johnny, the reporters who receive that information in the morning mail will not believe Frank. They won't be family, and they're going to go in for the kill. Mm-hmm. So go on, keep talking. Maybe you come up with a rationale I can use.
When do you turn in this story?
Tonight. With or without a solid defense.
Oh, Jack, will you quit rubbing it in, please?
Don't start on Jack. Next to Francis, he's probably in the most difficult position. Bob, you didn't uncover anything that could be helpful to us up in New Hampshire?
No, just enough to kick myself. You see, the guy who was running Ryan for vice president was actually a member of NLW himself. Now, he doesn't know Frank. He doesn't know politics. I don't know why I didn't pick that up in July.
Bobby, we all miss the signs. Especially me.
What about Ray? Would she do this? Could she?
Could she have planned to buy the vice presidency for Frank? Would she like to see him suffer now? Of course.
All right. I'll let the FBI decide on Ray. Right now, the important thing is to pull this out of the fire, and I intend to do my damnedest. I want to stay in the Senate. Now, you may or may not come up with a defense in tomorrow's paper, but I am innocent, and I'm going to prove it sooner or later.
I'll help.
I know you will. I know you all will. You always have. Now, look, let's make this clear. These papers are going to hurt me. They're going to convince plenty of people, and it means an awful lot to me that you back me up. I hate the thought of publicity, because you will all be dragged through the mud, and I am sorry. I'm really sorry. It's a hell of a thing for a family whose motto is death before dishonor.
Now, son, that's enough apologizing. We're with you, come what may. You'll be good and sure of that, huh?
For me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Enough for everyone.
Great.
Great. Tea is great for all your ills. Why is this happening?
It's not even his own trouble. He didn't even do anything.
Out of the blue? He could lose everything for no reason, no point?
No answers.
I had to get out of there. I was about to do something very unbrave.
Hey, you're allowed to cry. Come on.
I wanted to get hysterical. I wanted to sit right down in the middle of the floor and scream.
No, parents wouldn't like that, Siobhan.
Yeah, probably wouldn't make me feel any better anyway. You know, Patty, it's not just because of Frank. I mean, he's got Jill. They're together now. At least he can hang on to her, whatever happens.
Yeah, it's Tom's dying. A young, healthy man. Suddenly, Faith's alone.
So am I. Joe came by here this morning and told me it was over.
Oh.
He doesn't want to see me anymore. I must say, I've never been quite so surprised. As soon as the funeral was over, I got on the subway.
To Sheepshead Bay?
Yeah. It's a long ride.
Never mind, you don't have to tell me. You didn't get through to him, did you? Siobhan, we are some family for timing, I'll tell you. Nancy came by me today and said goodbye. I feel so sorry for you.
No, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know about Nancy.
I didn't want to mention it around here. You can figure out why.
Oh, not enough room. Why is she going? Because you want to marry her?
She said that it was too painful trying to get over me with me being around all the time. Damn it, you know, I think about it on my mind for 2 minutes and I get angry. It could have worked. It should have worked. And you had a long subway ride today. A lousy day for that.
Especially the way home. I used that time to memorize the conversation we had, such as it was. He couldn't tell me why he'd changed. I sort of went out there on my knees, you know. He gave me nothing. Not one intelligent reason.
Probably feel like exploding too, huh? Listen, I'll make some tea and you go out for a walk, huh? Good long one.
No, I think you need it more than I do.
I'd debate that with you, but I'm due back at the hospital soon.
Well, I can jog a mile with Finn.
Well, get going.
Oh, if anybody wants me, they won't.
Bobby, take Georgia aside and explain the entire situation to her. Otherwise, she'll be demanding a search warrant, FBI or no FBI.
CeeLo.
Bye-bye, Bobby.
Well, I wish we had better news for you.
Now, stop worrying about us. Sit down, put your feet up, and tell me, are you staying for supper? Pot pie. It's splendid if I do say so myself.
Well, I want to see Jill, and she may not be able to leave Faith, Mom.
Oh, that's true. Why don't I wrap up enough for the three of you? And then you can take it over to them, which would be more sensible.
You know, Ma has the most amazing talent for dreaming up something to look forward to. You ever notice that? Mm-hmm. Now, here I am feeling about as rotten as I've ever felt. I'm falsely accused. My career is crumbling down around my ears. But still, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about chicken pot pie. Figure that one out. You're a regular little miracle woman.
Oh, well, you're not so bad yourself. Hey, notice a smile on this man's face? How can you do that?
What, smile? Well, it keeps me from ripping up phone books, I guess.
Yes, or putting your fist through closet doors. Do you remember that one?
Taking your BB gun up to the roof, shooting out streetlights.
Hey, Frank never did that. None of my kids ever destroyed public property.
Man's a saint.
What was that? What was that?
I said that it was doubtlessly your good example that kept your kids on the straight and narrow.
Well, it may very well have been, Jack, and you never said anything of the sort.
We've got to be going.
All right, now look, Jack, you can make a perfectly good case for Frank being tricked into signing a piece of paper, like Mary said, right?
Johnny, be careful of false hopes. I've got to lay out the evidence, otherwise I'm not going to be believed.
Oh, what does that mean? That it won't sell newspapers?
Da, please, lay it.
What it means is that there are documents in this envelope that seem to prove influence peddling and a whole infinite scheme.
Ah, Jack, your readers will believe whatever you tell them to believe, and you're going to tell them to believe in Frank,
Let
right?
it go, John. Please, excuse me, only on the basis of the fact that today started off with a funeral and it's gone from bad to worse. I'm not going to ask you to take it back, John, but please don't say any more.
Look, I didn't realize I'd said anything to offend anybody, and look, if I did, I take it back.
Good. And on that note, we'll say goodbye. Ma,
Good night.
Take care, darling.
Bye, sweetheart.
Hey, trust me. If anyone put this in its proper light,
Yeah.
Look, I can call you and read it to you when I'm finished.
No, that's all right. You wouldn't feel right about that. No, Jack, really. I'll read it tomorrow morning with my coffee like everybody else.
All right, well, give our love to Ryan.
Oh, we'll do it.
And don't you stay up all night, young man. Write him that, please.
Okay, me.
Good night. Don't worry, Mom. We'll get plenty of rest.
Good night.
Da, I have a very hard time with you dumping on Jack like that. A very hard time, particularly in this instance.
I shouldn't do it. But here's my firstborn, my first son, the victim of one of the dirtiest tricks in the book, and I'm helpless. Even so, I shouldn't do it, should I?
Hey, come on. I'll be okay.
Frank, whatever happens, I believe in you 100%. Nothing's gonna shake that.
Hello. Hi. If you want to order, Kevin will be right back.
No, I came to see Siobhan.
Oh. Hi, Joe. Come on in.
Thanks.
Siobhan's down in the basement rounding up the dog. I'll give her a call.
Oh, that's okay. I'll find her.
No.
Finn's an old friend of mine.
That's okay. Siobhan, your friend from Brooklyn's here. Siobhan! She must have the door closed. I'll be back in a second.
Take it easy.
No,
We'll talk in the kitchen. Sorry, he has a wild temper.
that was a dangerous job. You pay me now.
What? Come on up. Can you hear me?
The situation's different now.
Like how?
Like maybe you ought to marry her after all. Maybe that's the best way to handle it.
Hi. You got a few minutes?
Actually, I was going to walk the dog.
I'll talk to you later. Don't forget about the tea, huh? Joe, nice seeing you again.
Yeah, same here, Pat. You mind if I walk along with you?
Actually, I do. You can say whatever you want to say here.
All right. I suppose it's private enough.
My parents and Frank and Mary and Jack are upstairs.
You're telling me your bodyguards are around?
No. Maybe. Joe, what is it?
A couple of things. First of all, I'm sorry. I was stupid. I hurt you. I don't know how to say how sorry I am.
Thank you. That's very nice.
Well, I'm not being nice, but I am telling the truth. You know I wasn't before. You were right. Listen, I spent all day yesterday thinking about you and what you expect from the people you love and what you give in return. Complete trust, complete honesty. I've never known that. The person I'm closest to is my uncle. We don't operate that way. There's love and respect. There's certain things we always do and certain things we never do. The rest is private. It's just not discussed. I've grown up by that rule. Well, anyway, I was chewing that over and getting scared, and I dreamed about it last night. When I woke up this morning, I was sure we'd never make it together. I didn't believe I could ever give you what you need, so that's why I tried to call it off.
Tried?
Yeah. I can't do it. Thinking I could was the stupidest mistake I've ever made. I love you too much. It's gone too far.
Don't do that.
Please, talk to me.
You say a lot of words, Joe. Maybe more than I've ever heard you say at one time, except when you're telling a story. Certainly more than you've ever said about your feelings.
Well, I'm having more than my share of feelings right now. They're kind of taking over. What?
I don't believe you, Joe. And I don't believe your story. Now, don't tell me you're telling the truth. Because it's going to make me even madder than I am now. I have been humiliated and rejected today. So don't insult my intelligence on top of it.
What can I say to you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Why don't you just say whatever you want to? Say what you said today at the Harborside, that your life is one that you can't share with somebody like me. And you can't explain any more than that? That it was good, but it's over? Don't drag it out? That you've found some kind of inspiration? You've come out of the clouds? You want me to leave.
No, I don't. Not ever. I only want you to forgive me and marry me.
Who do you think I am? One of your little deckhands who's hysterical and tainted in the head? Like that guy who came in last night? He gets a pat on the head and a belly full of dinner when something's wrong with him? Don't you dare come in here with an apology and 4 paragraphs on your tormented soul and expect me to just fall into your arms. You're right. Too much has happened, Joe. You're absolutely right about that. Forget the rest. There. That's a look I believe.
Siobhan.
Don't yell at me.
Look, I care more about you than I ever have about anybody. Now, Tizo's a problem. I don't want you mixed up in his reputation the way I've always been. Now, you come on back here and listen to me.
I'm sorry, but I got family problems, too. They need me now, and that's about all the giving I'm equipped for. You have put me out of your life twice today. I said that I wouldn't be back, and I meant it. Your driver's outside. He can take you home.
Is Little John home, Ma?
Oh, I thought you were asleep. No, dear, he's still at Michael's.
Michael's? Who's that, a new friend?
Well, that's a full replacement for Bernard. It's a shame that the Sterns moved away.
Well, maybe I'll have more time to meet some of Jono's pals. That's a good side effect. Say nothing of spending more time with my own boy.
Side effect of what?
Losing my job. Yeah, I've been digging around for some silver linings.
Francis, are you all that resigned to it all?
No, I'm not resigned to it in the least. I won't give up the Senate until and unless I'm asked to resign. If then. But it also makes sense to anticipate the worst on occasion, if ever so briefly. And then there are the things that you can't foresee. Like this whole vice presidency thing. A bizarre plan that went on over my head and behind my back. You know, I still can't quite believe it.
Now, don't be so hard on yourself, son.
Well, I hate to be made a fool out of.
I know.
And I hate to see Da so broken up.
Now, that is not your responsibility.
Well, it feels like it is.
Now, you do know that it's the unfairness of it all that's upsetting John. Nothing to do with any disappointment in you. I mean, that's the furthest thing from imagination. He has absolute faith in you. That was straight from the heart.
Ma, there's so little that Jack can say in my defense. First of all, he's my brother-in-law. And secondly, everyone who is interested in this thing is going to have a copy of those documents within 24 hours. He'll be double-checked, he'll be crisscrossed. It'll just go on and on all over the place.
Well, then, so be it. I mean, you're innocent, and eventually you'll be exonerated. Just as Ray, or whoever it was that has done this, will feel the rewards of it.
Old Rock of Gibraltar, huh?
Well, in this case, I do. I feel utterly steady. Maybe, I suppose you're in the right.
Well, I hope that carries you through tomorrow. Because it just may be one of the worst days of your life.
We'll just take it as it happens. And Jack is home writing. Maybe it'll turn out better than you think.
I won't ask how it's going.
Good idea.
One Tree Hill brothers Nathan and Lucas Scott battle with their past both on and off the basketball court. Check out the Brother from Another Mother One Tree Hill Marathon, today starting at 12 noon, right here on SoapNet.